Well, that Portsmouth game was dreadful.
Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole.
Welcome to the Sheff United Way Blades match preview. It's Sheffield United versus Middlesbrough at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane on Wednesday, the 12th of February, 8 p.m. Looking forward to this one. How do you feel? Nervous, excited, other adjectives? Let me know in the comments. They say a win is a win. And we begin by looking back on that Portsmouth home victory. There's a part of me, and I'm sure a part of you, that believes at this stage of the season, it's all about picking up results, about getting those 3 points and not worrying too much about the performance. But I do fear that against more clinical teams, and Portsmouth certainly were about as clinical and delicate as a chainsaw-wielding Leatherface performing open heart surgery. But I do fear that against a more clinical side, they will punish us. You know, our current system just doesn't seem conducive to creating that many chances. So what is the answer? Change of style, tried that. Change of attitude, as 𝗬𝗲𝗲 alluded to, or a complete change of formation. I do believe, Wilder believes, that he now has brought the players to suit, as we've used for most of the season, the common 4-2-3-1 formation. And I think that formation has largely served us pretty well. Maybe we just need to see a greater sample size of these new signings in that formation to kind of work out what works and what doesn't. And if it doesn't, then we've certainly got players now where we could change it. Also, Harry Clarke never wants to see Josh Murphy ever again. He had him on toast. Also, Portsmouth, let's remember, they're a good side. I thought they played really well. They played really well at Fratton Park against us in that 0-0. Also, they drew with Burnley. You know, they're no mugs. Played well. I wish them well. Side note, Rob Holding played his first competitive match in 502 days in that Pompey game. That is some stat. I don't know if there's ever been a gap longer than that for a Blades player coming back. I'm trying to think. If there's anyone you can think of, not a Blades player like a Blades player injured and then come back as a Blades player. I mean, a signing we've made and then before that, they haven't played for ages. I don't know. Before we get into team news, let me thank our video sponsors. It is 𝗬𝗍𝗄 Bar and Grill. Check them out. Do head along. It is a stunning premium bar. It's set over 2 fantastic floors. It's got 2 luxurious bars, separate restaurant space, and a luxury unique VIP box for private hire. 𝗬𝗍𝗄 truly is Sheffield's ultimate social experience. And 𝗬𝗍𝗄 is also the Sheff United Way's designated pre- and post-match bar of choice. All the live TV matches are on. It is the perfect place to meet friends and family before making the short walk to Bramall Lane for the big game, or head there when the Blades aren't playing and watch a match on telly. You'll find 𝗬𝗍𝗄 at the entrance to New Era Square. Now, usually, I give you straight away my predicted team, but our resident statsman Adam, who did this last week with Ollie on the preview, has shared his thoughts ahead of this Borough match. And he says, I've replayed Chris Wilder's interview in my head. And when the Radio Sheffield commentator said how brilliant Jack Robinson was with that last-ditch block, Wilder all but confirmed he was dropped. Jack and the whole back line were poor, lacked leadership, disorganised. Harrison wasn't at the races, if we get the exact quote from Chris Wilder. I think Gnell might need to take a look at himself in the mirror as well. He seems to be escaping quite a bit of the recent criticism. Jack, for me, is the one that seems to be getting all of it. Adam has therefore gone with changes for this game. I'm going to give you his team. What do you make of this? Cooper, Gilchrist, Anel, Holding, McCallum, Souza, Peck, Harmer, O'Hare, Rak-Sakyi, Brewster. I'll just go back to Sam McCallum because you might remember that Burrows didn't play for Borough away, and Ben Doak really got at McCallum in that match, and Wilder actually brought him off after 60 minutes, brought on Reece Norrington-Davis, and Doak destroyed him as well. Thankfully, Doak is out injured for this game. Interestingly, Vic in our group chat says 4-3-2-1 or 3-4-2-1 will work. He says, I think Wilder will work hard to fix the effectiveness of our midfield, because it was completely ineffective, wasn't it, in that Portsmouth game. And we'll see a different lineup, and hopefully Gus and Callum O'Hare in a more attack-minded role supporting a single striker. I always think it's interesting when someone writes like a name and then the full name, so Gus and Callum O'Hare, to sound like they are brothers. I'd probably go with back 4. I'd have Cooper in goal. I think Clarke will actually keep his place. I'd like to see Jack Robinson, but realistically, I do think I agree with Adam that Holding's going to come in. Next to Arnell, Burrows, I do think even after a poor game, he probably plays. Peck, Souza, 𝗍𝗂𝗍, Harmer, Ben Brereton, Diaz. And I'd go with Campbell. I really would. Cannon has been largely ineffectual. Let me know what you think with the comments, whether you agree with Adam, what team you'd like to see. I'd be really interested. Now, to run the rule over the opposition from the Borough Breakdown, here's Johnny.
Hey Ollie and everyone at the Sheffield United Way, Johnny here from the Borough Breakdown podcast, here to give you a bit of an update on Middlesbrough so far this season. And well, it has been so frustrating. It has really been frustrating for Borough. They should be a lot more comfortable than what they currently are right now in 7th place, as I'm recording this, of course, because by the time we play, we could be a little bit lower than that. But Middlesbrough should really be in the playoffs positions at this point. But we're scoring the goals, but we are giving so many chances away and getting punished for it. And we're not getting caught by different teams. We are just letting teams score. And by doing that, we are literally giving them the ball and letting them score. And that is the reason why Borough are top of the charts for individual errors leading to goals in the Championship this season. And some bit of apathy is starting to set in amongst Borough fans. Borough fans aren't really happy because, like I mentioned, we should be a lot more comfortable. Carrick hasn't really changed things or addressed things the way he should have. And given that the individual errors are happening pretty much every game, that becomes a group problem and a manager problem as well. So a few things just to be mindful of from a Middlesbrough perspective. But we've beat the good teams and lost against the sides we should be beaten, hence why we are 7th this season. But in terms of injuries, Middlesbrough have just seen Tommy Smith retire due to a 18-month layoff. Darrell Enhan is still out injured. Ben Doak, of course, is injured for this game. He's out for 5 weeks as well. So some players just to be aware of, but also defensively, Middlesbrough are quite light at the moment. They have 3 fit centre-backs at the club with George Edmondson, Dale Fry, and Rav Vandenberg being the 3. So let's go into the lineup then for this game. I don't see Middlesbrough changing their system at all for the game. I think Travers will start off in goal. Luke Ayling will be the right back because we don't have another one right now because we're all injured. I'll see Rav Vandenberg and Dale Fry at centre-half with Ryan Giles occupying that left-hand side. The 2 in midfield of Hayden Hackney and Aidan Morris, who have pretty much been diamonds for Middlesbrough this season. We really missed Aidan Morris when he was injured earlier in the season. On that right-hand side, I think we'll see Morgan Whittaker, who we brought in from Plymouth, 𝗍𝗏𝗏 in the middle, and then Delano Bergzorg on that left-hand side with Tommy Conway up front for Borough. And then in terms of score predictions, I think it's going to be a 1-goal game. I'm not too sure where it's going to go, but Middlesbrough love to give chances away. So if I see Sheffield United score, it will come from a Borough individual error. However, I have to be optimistic. We will win and hopefully we'll do the double. But it will probably mean nothing because we'll lose probably the next 3 games on the trot in the games we should be winning. Ollie, thank you so much for having me on. Guys, have a wonderful end to the season. I'm pretty certain that Sheffield United will get promoted this year in the automatic spot. But I'm going to go for that 1-0 Borough win. And, well, we may see you again next season, but most likely we probably won't. Take care, Ollie. Speak to you soon.
Thank you very much, Johnny. Call me Ollie, all you like. Sounds like Borough should be doing better than their league position suggests. I like the sound of chances being given away. We need that. If you can create them for us, Borough, that would be very helpful. We shall see. We'll get to score predictions very soon. First, though, the referee for Sheffield United versus Middlesbrough is Matthew Donoghue from Greater Manchester. What's so great about it? He's taken charge of 19 matches in all competitions this season. He's given 77 yellows, a little on the high side, 4 reds, 1 was a second yellow, but he's only given 3 penalties. He refereed our 0-0 at Portsmouth, which I've already spoken about, our 1-0 win at Millwall, and our 2-1 defeat at Sunderland, where, of course, he did give a penalty. He refed Borough's 2-2 at home against Portsmouth this season, where he gave a last-minute penalty to Borough, and he refereed their 2-1 defeat at Watford. So let's just go back. He's only given 3 penalties, and 2 of them are in games involving Sheffield United and Middlesbrough. So I feel like a penalty is on the cards. He's refed us 11 times in his refereeing career. We've actually won 7 of them. He's refereed Borough a whopping 17 times. That's the most of any team he's ever refereed, and they've won 7. So interesting that they've drawn 6 and lost 4. Now, player connections. We come to our player connections brought to you by 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗵. 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗵, great friends of us here at Sheffield United Way. They make great music. It's a virtual band. Many of their members support Sheffield United, so support them. Check out 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗶.com, 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗶𝗶𝗶.com. It never looks like a big word when I get round to spelling it out, and then going through it, it does feel like it took me too long. And the latest album, excellent. It's called Tall Tales of 10 Girls. Now, I always pick 4 played for both, and my 4 for this one, the legend for United. We know all about his stats, so I don't need to go through them in detail. Brian Deane. Dino. 87 games for Borough, 18 goals. I think much more fondly remembered at Bramall Lane. Jan Åge Fjørtoft, the man behind the aeroplane celebration. 50 appearances, 13 goals for Middlesbrough under Brian Robson. There's another connection. 42 appearances for the Blades, 23 goals. That's his best ever return at any club. That was, of course, under Howard Kendall, God rest his soul, and Nigel Spackman. I could pick Barry Robson, so I will. 90 appearances and 19 goals for Middlesbrough between 2009 and 2012. Very popular player. 18 appearances and 2 goals for the Blades in that 2012-2013 season. We, of course, signed him from, that's right, Vancouver Whitecaps. It's a pool of talent we often dip into. Seem to get all our players from Vancouver Whitecaps. I don't know what I'm talking about. Cameron Archer, yes, he played for Borough, did really well for Borough. Actually got 11 goals in 23, got 6 assists for the Blades, only got 4 goals, but that was in the Premier League in 32 games, just the 1 assist. Who else can you think of? Let me know in the comments. And finally, we come to our score prediction. If you'd like your score prediction shared here and to receive a whole host of other benefits, as well as support us, head to patreon.com/Sheffield United Way. We've now reached 20,000 subscribers. If all 20,000 gave us £1, we'd have £20,000. And that is so depressing, I think I'm going to cry. So if you want to head to patreon.com/Sheffield United Way, it really helps us to continue to do what we do. And if you don't want to head there, that's fine as well. Now, Blades fans in our WhatsApp group chat, what do they know? Do they know things? Let's find out. Richard Grayson thinks 1-1. At this rate, he says that's what he's going for. James also says 1-1. Jack says if we play like we have in the last 3 games, Borough will win 2-0. And Ray agrees. Justin says 2-1 Blades. Matt says, I want to be positive, but performances have been poor lately, and we've got away with it because we've played teams at the bottom. But Borough showed us at their place how dangerous they can be. 2-1 Borough win. Nick has gone 1-0 Blades. Ash agrees. John O.T. says 3-1 United. I think we finally are going to hammer someone. We're due a hammering of someone. 5-0 Blades. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening if you prefer to get us that way. And as always, up the Blades.
𝗚𝗿𝗄𝗍𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓